Hi guys, welcome back to Dave's Game Room. Just showing you a couple of things that I'm looking at the moment, a couple of pickups. Both of these machines were, or are, still in need of repair. Here's a Genesis Model 3. Now I've had this apart and I've done all the usual things, cleaning the cartridge slot, checking all the contact points on the board. The board looks okay. However, when I first took it apart, the RF shielding that covers the whole system, I noticed there was rust on it, some corrosion, which is not a good sign. It almost seems to me as if this thing was just literally left out to rot by somebody. See, I picked this up because it doesn't work. You switch it on and you just get a black screen. I've done all kinds of things with it, as I said before, to try and get it working, all the common fixes, but it just gives you a black screen. So I'm wondering if the main chip that's on this Genesis Model 3 has actually gone, it's gone a bit funny. Maybe there's some dodgy connections, dry solder joints, and that's why it's not working. But maybe one day I'll have another look at this. But more interestingly is the other pickup I've got. Now this is a Super Famicom, which some of you guys may recognise as a Japanese Super Nintendo. As you can see here, I've got it in pieces, and I noticed this board here that's floating around. This is actually another RF modulator. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show you it, but it's actually another RF module. There's another connection on the back there somewhere, an RF connection. Now, it's already got an RF connection. There's one in the back here. So why has it got two RF modulators? Now, I'm wondering if that's because this was imported, obviously, to a European PAL territory at some point. This is an early 1990 motherboard, so it's one of the early models of the Super Famicom. But yeah, it's strange. It's got this additional RF modulator jammed into it, or soldered into it. If you look under the board, there's actually some wires tapped into various parts of where I think the video output comes from. But there's a bit of a strange issue with this. I have actually managed to get this to fire on. I've had to use a Mega Drive power supply because that outputs the DC that this machine needs. Unlike the PAL European Super Nintendos that use AC, this uses DC. If you try and give this thing AC, and especially for a prolonged period of time, you're going to do some damage to it, which might be partly what the issue is with this one. Maybe that's what someone did, and I'm now starting to see what the damage is. But I'll just fire this on. It's connected up to my system. And you'll be able to see, there's your title screen. And it does actually fire on. The problem is the video is a bit dark, so I'm wondering if that RF module is having something to do with it. So far, so good. Super Famicom, this is actually Zelda. I think this is a link to the past. I got this game just to test it, but then you get this horrendous flickering, graphical glitchy horribleness. Now, any of you guys out there watching have seen this or know what this could be, please let me know, and let me know if it's something I'm going to be able to fix. If I flip the switch on the actual RF modulator on the back of the console, it gets worse. The graphical glitchiness gets even worse. So, is it that RF module that's in there? Is that the reason why this thing is effed up and is all messed up like this? Just a quick look at the end, you can see when it gets to sort of in-game, it looks okay. I mean, it looks a bit blown out, so again, I think that might be something to do with the RF module, but you can actually see the sprites and everything all look okay, besides being a bit blown out. Now, this cable is actually what taps the video signal into this RF box, I think. But the funny thing is, if I disconnect that, I'll get no video signal whatsoever. It's going to be impossible to do right now because the machine's on and running, but you get no video signal at all. And just to show you, there's also a channel select switch for the RF on the back. Look what happens when I flick it. Look, it's worse. The issue with the glitching is worse, so I think it's got to be that RF module. That RF module is screwed. It's got to be. The graphics are all messed up now, even in normal sprites, so yeah. Please leave comments below, guys. Subscribe, let me know what's going on with this thing, because I'd love to get it fixed. Also, it's really badly yellowed. I mean, I've got the top cover off. That's really badly yellowed, so I'm going to have to give it some treatment at some point to fix that. Another pickup, as you'll see there. I've got another Dreamcast, which is awesome, and I've got a load of Dreamcast games, but I'll do a separate video to show that, because the main focus really is this awesome Super Famicom here. So guys, thanks for watching as ever. As I say, please leave comments. Please let me know what the cause of that is, if you think it's the RF module, because I might look at desoldering it and taking it out. I mean, look how bad that's getting. It's awful. Thanks, guys.